Hey everybody, good Monday morning. Okay, we got a new week and a new topic, I would say. I don't think I've spoken too much about making meaningful connections with other people in the languages that you've learned on this channel, but it's something that over the years I think I've had a lot of success with, especially living in different countries. I've had experiences like in Japan where I've actually never felt quite as at home and loved and accepted as when I was living in Japan, which is very rare for Western people or foreign people in general living in Japan. But I've had a similar experience living in different places. I've made it some just of the most amazing, wonderful connections over the course of the last 10 or 12 years, all facilitated by foreign languages. But it's not just living in different countries. This can also happen if you're at home, wherever you may be from, or living somewhere where the language you're learning is not widely spoken. And I'm going to share an example with you today of how I'm going about that right now, trying to cultivate really meaningful, legitimate, authentic, genuine connections in Mandarin Chinese. So as many of you will know, I've been documenting my journey learning Mandarin Chinese, and it's getting very, very exciting. I just posted last week my very first ever sort of proper, real conversation end-to-end in Chinese. So feel free to check that out if you want to see how I did. And then just before that, I made a video, kind of like an update to show you my progress in Chinese, where I tried to speak for a few minutes. And I told a story of how recently I've started going to this sort of Taiwanese bento and bao restaurant. It's really, really nice. The people there are just so lovely. And I talked about how that started to become really my first exposure to sort of authentic conversation in Mandarin Chinese. Now, again, I never really had a proper end-to-end all Chinese conversation. There's always like a bit of English thrown in. There's always, it's kind of rushed because obviously it's a restaurant, they have other customers coming in. I only get so long to talk to them. But nevertheless, there's just something really special about how they were so delighted to talk to me and so willing to teach me things, give me feedback, help me understand how to say certain things. It's just been a delightful experience. And so for me personally, when this starts to happen, when I start to encounter people who speak the language I'm learning and they show me these really nice signs of just, hospitality, and I don't know, it's hard to describe what it is. I think anyone who's experienced this will know what I mean. But there's just a very special connection, I think, that happens often when people can see that you are really genuinely making an effort to learn their language. But again, also I think to learn about who they are, right? To learn how they think, to learn who they are as a people. And so when that happens to me, I tend to just organically start to have like ideas, right? And I tend to just come up with these very small little things that maybe I can do that just show them that little bit more that I care, right? And so today I want to share with you a really fun little like arts and crafts project that I did on the weekend. So, I've been going to this restaurant. I go there a few times a week, and I go partially because the food is wonderful and work is very busy right now. And so it's helpful a couple times a week to just be able to go and pick up my dinner. But I also go because I really enjoy seeing those people. There's several of them there that are just really lovely. They're so cheerful, so nice. I enjoy, of course, being able to practice my Mandarin, but it's just a nice, it's a thing I look forward to every week. But of course, right now during the pandemic, lots of places are closed, and the places that are open, they've had to really shift the way they do business to provide, a safe way for people to come and get food from their services. And so I just wanted to thank them really for working so hard all day, every day, and providing such wonderful, delicious, tasty food, even during these hard times. And of course, I benefit from that every single week. So that was it. I just wanted to make them feel appreciated and make them happy. So I made this card, which basically, you know, I'm not very good at drawing to begin with. It's something that I really want to improve and learn, and drawing food in particular, I realized is probably not a strong skill set of mine. Watercolor, also not a strong skill set of mine. And then if you just look down here at my little bento box, I encountered the very deep question of how do you paint rice? I really tried my best here to make that work. But anyway, it was a fun project, and basically, you know, what it says in Chinese. I also use traditional characters. Now, many of you may know I'm also learning traditional characters, but in Taiwan, they use traditional and not simplified. So little details like that, you know, like choosing traditional characters because I know that's what they use in their home country. You know, that these things I feel really show that you're making that extra effort to not just learn Mandarin in this case, but to learn about the people who speak Mandarin in mainland China, for example, maybe even different provinces, like maybe in Guangzhou, or in this case in Taiwan, learning about how those people may be different. And so it just says, you know, like I said, thank you for working hard and making just wonderful, delicious food for all of us, even during these hard times. So, and I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm gonna take it there today. So we'll see how they react. You know, I was a bit hesitant, to be honest, but my impression, again, I'm still learning, is it seems like Taiwanese people are perhaps like a little bit more enthusiastic and kind of like warm and bubbly, it seems. It felt like this very enthusiastic, warm expression of gratitude might be well received. Maybe it would be the exact same thing in China, I'm not really sure. I'm trying my best to sort of discern subtle differences between people in different places. So it feels like this is gonna be a nice gesture. I really hope that they will like it. And so I wanted to just share this with you because this is one really nice sort of, I don't like calling it a technique because I don't want this to feel like these are techniques, but they are. They're things you can do to, I would say, like evolve and deepen the connections that you have with people. And so, for example, this may take just simply a customer interaction for them that they do, you know, just to make money. You know, maybe this then becomes something where they're really genuinely happy to see me when I come in. And maybe we, over time, start to have even more and more genuine conversations. And this has happened to me many times in my life in different countries and in different languages. And again, I'm not doing this just to practice Mandarin. I'm doing it because I feel like these are really, really lovely, nice people. And so Mandarin just happens to be a vehicle of communication. And yeah, I could talk to them in English, right? They speak pretty good English, but we all know it is so much more special doing it in Mandarin, I think. So, but here's the thing. You may think, well, you know, I don't paint, I don't draw. By the way, I don't really either. I mean, yes, I can do it, but it's not easy at all, and I'm always terrified. And you know, drawing and painting, they're skills that I really want to finally actually learn to do properly. But I can certainly see, like, there's got to be loads of people who would not feel comfortable creating this. So it could have just been a thank you card, right? I could have just bought a nice thank you card from a shop and just written the message in Chinese. So it's not about, you know, the painting or the drawing or anything else. It's really the thought, right? And this was also a good opportunity to learn new words in Mandarin, and it's kind of a complicated sentence, I would say. So to be honest, this is probably a more complex sentence than I've ever said by myself in a natural conversation. So getting this exposure to all these different words. I don't know. I hope you get the point. I would like to dive much more deeply into this topic in future videos. There is all these different sort of techniques that I have that I've used over the years. A little preview is in Japan, what I used to always do is let me grab a book. Okay, so this is a Japanese book about coffee, which, to be honest, this one I haven't read yet. I got this as a gift, and I can't wait to dive into it. Oh, kopo, cafe. Wait, actually, you know what's funny? I just pronounced cafe like in Mandarin Chinese. Oh, anyway. So what I would do in Japan very often is I would be reading a Japanese novel, and I would be sitting in a cafe, and I would read the novel, and I was really reading it, you know, but I would get stuck inevitably. And, you know, because these cafes, there's often quite a lot of movement, and people would often just come and sit like pretty much right next to me by themselves, just reading or doing their own thing. I love that about Japan. You'll see lots and lots and lots of people just reading, which is really nice. But so I would just ask, like, you know, excuse me, could you help me understand this sentence? I'm struggling. And they would always be, you know, so blown away and like completely mind blown that me, like a Western guy, was just casually reading a Japanese novel. And of course I asked in Japanese, like, すみません、なんかこれはちょっとなんかどういう意味かな? You know, and I would ask, like, does it mean this, or is that the meaning? And yeah, they would just be so shocked and amazed, and it would very often spark a conversation. They would want to know more about me. Maybe we'd talk about the book. And I've actually made a lot of really good friends that way in Japan. Now, sometimes no, sometimes people just said, oh, it means that I'm gonna go now. But you'd be surprised, even with Japanese people who I think are kind of famous for being shy and perhaps a bit distant. Again, when you just show this genuine interest in their language and this very just earnest, like, desire to understand a sentence in this book, people can be really, really warmed by that. And so yeah, we'll talk a lot more in other videos about all the different ways that I have found to be really helpful in cultivating meaningful connections in different languages. But I hope you liked my little example today. Again, I'm living in Oakland, California, in the United States. I do not live in Taiwan or in China or any other Mandarin Chinese speaking place. But nevertheless, I can still have encounters with lovely people, and there are still little things I can do to help, yeah, build those meaningful connections. So please let me know in the comments if you have had these experiences yourself. I would love to know what it's been like for many of you making friends and meaningful connections in languages that you speak. Or please let me know if this is a struggle you've had, if this is something that you need more help with, and I'll be happy to do my best to share as many tips as I can in future videos. Okay, everybody, hope you have a wonderful Monday, an amazing new week. Like, oh, come on, let's get it. Let's do some awesome language learning this week. Do let me know what you're learning this week, what's working for you these days. I don't know. I just love hearing from you, but for now, I'll finally end the video. Have a good day. See you back here on Wednesday for the next episode.